And we are in game number 1. This game is going to take place in migration. On the right hand side, Villese is playing with Italians. On the left hand side, ACCM is playing with Dravidians. Compared to yesterday, it's peaking in the Nikon boys. Yeah, I'm not really sure why it's peaking, because I do have the volume slider kind of lowered a little bit, so it shouldn't really peak. Still doing, apparently. I think, yeah, if I remove the noise suppressor, you can hear what the microphone really sounds like. For anybody who might be, especially if you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, oh, what do you have an audio setup? Donation goal. Well, this is why. This is what the microphone actually sounds like. I need to heavily suppress the noise. There we go. It works a little bit better like this, but yeah, honestly, I have no idea if it sounds different, why that might be. Hey, Balcanaro. Hi, hi. Why so far away? What do you mean? Oh! Oh! Hold on! Oh my god, this is... why is OBS using the webcam browser, the webcam microphone? Holy crap. Come on.
Okay, how about now? It was surely sounded like absolute crap. Okay, that was not how this microphone sounds actually. That was the webcam microphone. Why would OBS all of a sudden change the audio device on its own? I was so confused for such a long time over there. Okay, so let me just so you can hear. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to that later. For the time being, let's focus on this. And let me try once again the annotations. I tried to fix them. So let's see. Well, this island generation is a lot better for Villese, but for ACCM, not quite. Not quite this time around. ACCM, let me see if this works. ACCM's got... Oh, let's go! ACCM's got a little bit of an appendage piece of wood over here, so to say, that is kind of disconnected from where the mainland is, right? So he could potentially get pushed away from... He wouldn't really have access to these resources if he doesn't get water control, but that's going to be the case also for this wood. ACCM does have one goal on the back, which is great. He does have one stone on the back over here, which is great as well. And the goal is kind of forward, so this is not quite as good. And then if we take a look at Vilese's map generation on the other hand, this time around compared to game number, or the first instance of game number 1, it's looking a lot better, right? So we have goal on the back, we have stone on the back, and then the other goal is going to be kind of forward over here. The woods are going to be exposed. This is, you don't really want to lose water control on this map unless you have already migrated a significant amount of units over to the center, because it's just so important to hold on to your starting resources for the first half an hour of the game or so. So yeah, hey, there we go. Annotations are working great. And I have implemented a new automation system, so check this out. This is player number 1, right? Actually, this is player number 2, so let's switch color. This is player number 2, and then I can bring a tower, and it's... oh crap. Yes, I can bring a tower. Oh crap. Never mind. I guess there's still some work to do over here. Anyway. Dalberax is on the way. For Villese. Yes. And we have a few fire galleys on the way for the blue player. Meanwhile, ACCM has gotten to the fuel age himself. He's got fire galleys already coming out. And he's got a little bit of a head start. He already has the third and fourth fire galleys on the way. So it seems like he's going to prioritize water control quite a bit. And this could be really good. I love it that he's sending one fire galley through the north and one fire galley through the south, because there could very well be a chance of Villese spawning either in the north or in the south over here. So there is no guaranteeing, right, that he is on the opposite corner of the map. So it's very important for ACCM to actually try and account for those potential scenarios. But the great thing about this is that ACCM will spot Villese, and he will have a Navy lead because he's invested a lot of resources onto water over here, delaying his castle age by quite a bit, as Villese is already on his way to the castle age. Go for the center, right? He needs some sort of water presence so he can go for the transport ship. So yeah, we see ACCM lose a fire galley up in the north. That was not good. He probably would have been able to avoid it if he was paying attention. But now, yeah, it doesn't seem like ACCM will be able to get enough damage done over here soon enough, as Villese is going to be in the castle age in 1 minute and 10 seconds to get the war galley upgrade. He's got the defender's advantage over here to take advantage of, and ACCM only has 3 fire galleys left to play with down the south. There we go. Yeah, ACCM is definitely on the back foot over here in terms of Navy. He doesn't really have too much. He will be the first player to transport the villager over to the center and the scout though, while Villese doesn't really have a transport ship yet. There we go. War galley upgrades on the way for Villese. Beautiful, ACCM. He's still about 35 seconds away from the castle age himself, and so far things are looking pretty good for Villese. Maybe VIP for this. I don't know why it changed the audio device though. It's so weird. Huh. Yeah, I have no idea. Well, anyway. Castle Age is here for ACCM, and he can play catch up now. He's got the War Galley upgrade coming up, but Villese already is putting pressure with the fire ships as ACCM struggling. He ends up losing a villager over there. Detonated a demolition raft, but could only get a little bit of damage down to a single fire ship, so this is not a great trade for ACCM at all. About 10 seconds away from the War Galley upgrade, he's pushing Villese away in the north, he's pushing Villese away in the south, and it seems like nobody's going to get water control anytime soon, and the players will keep on contesting water over here for quite a while. There we are, nice pushback from Villese. Here we go. Yes, and water's just going to be kind of a wash. No pun intended. Nice demo ship over here. ACCM is not paying attention though. Come on. The red players got... Okay, there we go. And bang. That's a good shot. Ends up taking 2 fire ships, if I'm not mistaken. Chunking a lot of HP off. 2 additional ones. And now Villese finally transported some villagers over to the center. He's gonna get a TC up. Meanwhile, ACCM doesn't really have a TC coming up at the center. Instead, he's gone for a monastery that Villese was just short of spotting. with the scout over there. See, and we'll collect the first 2 relics over here. Actually, that's going to be the first 3 relics. He already has one. Nice. And the final 2 will be towards the south of the island where Villese's got presence over there. It should be going in favor of ACCM if he can land a good shot over there. It's going to be difficult. Oh, he goes for the demo ship. It's going to be 1 for 1. And up in the north, we have a demo ship over here from Villese. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to too much. And now he will, and bang! Another huge shot. From Villese. ACCM still a hit though. Navy count over here up in the north, and then on the right hand side he's managed to get another dock. He's got a fire ship coming out. Down the south he's got more units. Actually, does he? He does not have more units, but he's got a better army composition over here to fight against Villese on water. So far so good. So far so good for ACCM on water. And Villese is gonna keep on trying to come back. ACCM is finally going for a TC at the center. Not good for ACCM, losing a fire ship over there. Yeah, and Villese has been going pretty heavily into Navy. It's just he didn't really have the units out on the right spot at the right time. There we go. Beautiful. Down the south. ACCM is walking away, sailing away on the right hand side, meanwhile up in the north. Yeah, there isn't too much over here for ACCM to defend themselves, so it seems like Villese is going to barrel through ACCM's defenses and get straight to the fishing ships. Ah, this could be really bad, but there's another demo shot, not quite as good this time around from ACCM. He's got more demolition ships coming out, and he's gonna keep on trying to bait these units from Villese into the demo shots. And Vilese's been extremely cautious. Notice how he's trying to keep these units kind of scattered around. So the demo ship over there is not really going to achieve much of anything. Well done. And that's another one coming up over here from ACCM. Even if he ends up kind of wasting this one with a single unit or whatever, he is still able to clean this up from Villese. And in the end, he's not really going to waste it at all. So well done. There we go. Right hand side. Ducks going down from ACCM. But the situation in water is kind of stabilizing. We have one TC for each player at the center as well. So I would imagine both players will start trying to put a lot more pressure on land over here as opposed to going for a lot of extra water. Although, well, I say that as I see Villese go for a crap ton of extra fire ships, but he ends up, I think, canceling those. Or did he just finish? Okay, so he just finished building those, and then he's got only one left in queue. It's going to be 70. Okay, he's got more. Wow, Villese is really going at it on water. And ACCM's managed to rake in enough resources to go for a castle drop, so he's going to try to go for one on the left-hand side. So let's see if this works. We have player 2. We have castle. Huh, it's not really working. Okay. Yeah, whatever. There you are. Beautiful. Castle's coming up on the hill. There is no denying this one. We might see a monk go down, but that's just going to be a drop in the bucket. As the castle comes up, before even a single villager goes down over here, ACCM will be able to target the TC from Villese and try to get control of the center. Okay, let me take a look at this once again. There's a TC on the way. Is this working? It's not really working. It's unfortunate. Beautiful. ACCM gets a complete cleanup on the right hand side. Or Villese gets a complete cleanup on the right hand side on water. Still has significantly more navy compared to ACCM, but he's not really being put in too much pressure with those units, mind you. ACCM still being able to keep on fishing with the fishing ships. ACCM is the first player to click out to the Imperial Age as well. Villese is kind of trailing behind by quite a lot. Here we go. Nice. And the defensive castle for Villese. Not really going to achieve too much at the center, as ACCM's got a significant head start to the Imperial Age and will be the first player to start going for, you know, trebuchets. Yeah, the crossman upgrade on the way now. Yeah, I'm not going to take that, guys. Imperial Age is here for Villese, so now he should be able to catch up. Yeah. Sad face, that's not something to joke about, man. Welcome otherwise, though. Second castle from ACCM should definitely come up. It's been really difficult for ACCM to get water control, but it's been probably just as difficult for Villese to take advantage of the water control that he's kind of got in the last few minutes. He is significantly ahead still in navy count, or well, maybe not quite as significantly as he was before, but he hasn't really cleaned up ACCM from water, so he hasn't really been able to take advantage of it too much. He's invested a lot of resources onto water and he's not really taking advantage of it too much, while ACCM, he's prioritized the center, which I think is the right way, especially in this position in the game where players have already gotten way past the starting stages of the match. Yeah, there we go. Castle comes up, just barely though. That's a lot of villagers going down from ACCM. He's under pressure over here, taking some damage from the trebuchet from Villese, but he will end up losing the castle over here for the most part. Is the max retired? The max is not retired. Well, as much as I know, as far as I know, he's not retired. As a matter of fact, the YouTube video between the max and the Vallus, for the series between the max and Vallus for the decider, qualifier set for Warlords, just came up on my YouTube channel today. So he's been playing as of last weekend. Unless something changed then, from then until now, I wouldn't know. So he's just good in 1v1 anymore? Not good in 1v1 anymore? Oh, he's good. Definitely. Just not as good as he used to be, perhaps. Man, this is a lot of pressure on the center. If ACCM is able to push Villese away from this, doesn't matter if Villese gets full water control. ACCM should be in a much better position over here. There are a lot of extra resources on the center island. Yeah. And Villese, if he gets pushed away, he wouldn't have access to gold anymore. He wouldn't be able to keep on going for Navy anymore. And this has been really, really good from ACCM. He's taken a bunch of buildings down from Navy units. And now there's another castle coming up for ACCM. This is huge. 3 players behind in military and in working count. But it seems like he'll still end up taking game number 1 over here. The bombard cannons coming over, and Villese cannot really, adapt to this too well by the looks of it. Monastery is going down. That's the only relic that Villese had access to. Getting ejected now as ACCM's got 4 relics. Garrison himself, he's going to have a majority of the gold available in this map, not only from the relics but also from the gold mines after he effectively pushes Villese away. This was really good. That was a good shot, and another one, and Villese is not paying attention to the bombard cannon, so it goes down. And honest to God, Villese is trying to get some raids going. He went for our ballisters. He doesn't really have too many, to be fair. You know what? ACCM shouldn't struggle because he's gone for an extra TC behind the castle forward. He's got a bunch of extra military buildings coming up over here. It shouldn't really be possible for Villese to do too much damage with these units anymore. We have the skirmishers coming over from ACCM, but he's not really paying too much attention to the units. He'll still end up cleaning this up though by the looks of it with the bombard cannon, as Villese is not paying too much attention to these units either. And now the skirmishers are here from ACCM, so he's good. Did ACCM use a fake warship? The Dravidian unique ship? I don't think he's used the unit, no. Theory Sadai, I think it's the name of it, right? I don't think we have seen a single one. There's an alright unit control. ACCM does pull the trebuchets out before they get cleaned up, but he's got a bunch of idle economy. He's got to take care of these arbalesters. And he has been going for skirmishers. ACCM skirmishers attack 25% faster. He just doesn't really have too many out. You should definitely think of going for more units if possible. Try to utilize the market to balance his economy because he's not really under too much pressure on water whatsoever. He can bring these units over to the center. He's going to start transporting a lot of his economy from his Sartan Island over to the center. That's good. But he needs more food. He needs more skirmishers. He's got a good amount of archer ranges over here. He's just not being able to produce quite as much. Now he's finally going for more. So he's pulled his army back. He's gathered himself, he's put himself together, so he's got skirmishers right now to defend the bombard cannons and trebuchets with. Now he can go forward and try to put pressure again. That is some good shots from the bombard cannons. The skirmishers are moving on. And because ACCM's got his own bombard cannons, he should be able to take care of Vilese's own BBC here. Nice shots from ACCM's, looking great. So far, 7 kills with these bombard cannons. Obviously, not all of those were enemy bombard cannons either. But yeah, and there we go. A conversion in the skirmishers from ACCM. Clean up the left-hand side of the center island. So Villese is not there anymore. He's just going to try to defend himself against the push from ACCM. And ACCM will He's still trying to move forward. It's gotta be careful. You have Condottieri over there, which will decimate the bombard cannon if they get there. So ACCM's gotta keep the distance. And because he doesn't really have too many skirmishers, I'm still surprised that he's not going for more. He struggles over here as well. He's gotta go forward and try to target the arbalesters individually. And this is such an awkward spot to find yourself in. If you are in ACCM's position, you have a lot of siege over here, and you have definitely the tools to push your opponent away from the center island with. It's just that you don't have the means to protect those tools, right? And you're struggling to go for skirmishers! You're struggling to go for skirmishers. It's like a feudal age situation in the Imperial Age. Like, we have a very low amount of military over here for both these guys, and Villese is starting to mass the Condottieri, so I guess ACCM would benefit. Yeah, from going for something other than skirmishers over here to try and take care of these guys. He's not going for it yet. The bombard cannon goes down from Villese. That's a good shot though from the blue player. Ends up taking one down as well from ACCM. There's a lot of idle economy over here for both these guys as the resources start running out on their islands, starting islands. So you can see over here Villese is losing a lot. And you know what? Once again, because of the much better navy count from Villese, he could just patrol the units forward, go and clean everything up from ACCM. ACCM wouldn't be able to transport units anymore, but because Villese did not really pay attention to his navy too much, because of how hectic the center situation is, ACCM has had plenty of time to transport a bunch of villages. And you take a look, ACCM is actually going for careening right now, which is going to increase the transport capacity to 10. And Villese is gonna start trying to colonize the northeast part of the center island, and ACCM is starting to kind of lose the grip on the center himself. Yeah, and there is a defensive castle on the way for Villese. This is huge. It's gonna be so hard for ACCM to rid of. Yeah, and he's still just focusing trying to migrate the villages. This is kind of like a reverse houseboat, where you have to transport a lot of villagers later into the game as opposed to all your villagers little by little from the very beginning. And it's certainly taking a toll on both these guys. ACCM, in my opinion, has had a position to take this game for quite a while, but he struggled to take advantage of it. And Villese is starting to come back over here with the castle up over here. It's very difficult for ACCM to push these villages from Villese away anymore. And ACCM knows about the castle. And finally, Villese started paying attention to his navy. So he's going to take the docks down over here. It's not possible for ACCM to transport villages anymore, and he should just bring these villages and use every villager he's got over here to go for farms and just focus on food income, because the rest of his economy should be at the center at this point already. Nice trip shot from ACCM, right on the head. An extra TC coming out for Villese, and yeah, it seems like the rates are coming up over here. The blue player is looking fantastic. He's got Pavise coming up. That's going to give his units extra armor. Beautiful. You can see it just finished researching it. Now the Condottieri have gone up to +4 and +5. Condottieri archers as well are affected by this, and Villese doesn't care anymore. He's coming forward, trying to go to the Trebuchet. The Trebuchet gets protected by the ACCM's quick walls. The Condottieri is still here. They'll end up taking 2 villagers and going around the mill to see if they can still target the Trebuchet. But realistically, ACCM should be able to keep this up. Just gotta repair the trap. Oh, what is ACCM? He loses a trap. He doesn't really have momentum over here anymore. Doesn't really have too many units whatsoever. And I do like the Urumi Swordsman play, but this is coming in a little bit too late. And Villese, well, Villese definitely has the lead in this position. He's going to end up taking game number 1 by the looks of it. 170 population, almost to 105 population. for Villese and ACCM respectively, and 105 pop for ACCM. How fitting. Yeah, and Cross is coming out from ACCM ballistics right now, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Villese can produce condottieri easily. It's got extra barracks on the way. And ACCM, well, ACCM is getting pushed back. Doesn't really have the economy to sustain crossman production anyway. And while ACCM could go for Roomy Swordsman still. There's only one castle for the red player that's about to go down. And with this castle crumbling, I would be fairly surprised if ACCM kept on trying, given that he wouldn't really have any fortifications left anymore. Thus his economy will be even more exposed than it already is. And he will be struggling even more so than he already is. There we are. Once again, Villese is gonna start pushing against the castle. The castle will eventually go down. So, what can ACCM do? Well, he's got his own bombard cannon over here, so he could potentially try and defend with that, but he's gotta be careful because the condottieri from Villese will shred the bombard cannons if he gets there. ACCM manages to get the walls up over here just in time to keep the bombard cannons out for the time being, but this is just... Oh man, he's just really hanging on to whatever he's got left over here, and it's not good. The only way for ACCM back over here is clutching it up. Keeping the bombard cannons up, taking the condottieri down, and taking the bombard cannons from Villese down, so that he can start pushing back eventually. But there is a castle drop coming up in the north from Villese right next to the TC from ACCM. So even if ACCM manages to get momentum on the right hand side towards the southeast of the island over here at the center once again, well, he won't really be able to keep on holding on to the north anymore because Villese's got momentum over there. So it's going to be game number 1 going in favor of Villese as ACCM calls a GG. And going through the achievements, we'll see for military a stronger KD for Villese by a little bit. It's going to be about 11 to 10. And then for economy, we have a stronger economy for Villese with about 16,000 extra resources collected this game. And for society, a higher max villager count for Villese as well. Well done! How long have I been muted over here? My lord. Oh no! It's happening again. I've had this happen before. All the explanation about the map generation for both these guys. Anyway, yeah, I was just saying that the map generation is, in my opinion, a lot better for the red player, because if you are blue and you want to secure some resources, you would have to go for something like this, right? Around the wood line, in front of the TC, and then towards here, and then on the left hand side I guess you can just go for something like this, and it's like whatever, right? And he will be able to secure the gold, he will be able to secure the stone over here. However, if we take a look at the map generation for the red player instead, he will be able to secure resources a little bit more easily if he just goes for something like some walls like this. And from here to here, sure, it would also be kind of pricey, but not anywhere near as pricey as Villese's walls. And he will be able to secure the whole thing over here, but he's not really going for it at all. There we are. PLH here for both these guys, and we see the table coming for Villese. All the tables already up for ACCM, and playing Franks, a pretty standard civilization for this map. Villese is in a pretty good spot. It's got 20% extra HP already on cavalry as is, from the PLH onwards. So it's gonna start going for scouts right away, while Villese, instead. Villese got his own scouts coming out as well. But it's taken significantly longer to get these out. Beautiful. So far, nobody's really been able to do too much, but the numbers are starting to get good for ACCM. It's roaming around, trying to take advantage of the mobility to get away from the defensive units from Villese, and then up in the north, Villese. It's got a good amount of scouts over here. You can see that ACCM is kind of being able to secure this woodline without going for the massive walls that I was suggesting, although that obviously comes at a little bit of a price in the sense that these walls are significantly smaller, and then a few skirmishers could still potentially push villagers away from there, and he doesn't really secure the goal as I was hoping he would. But anyway, when both players are going for scouts at about the same time, trying to rush the fuel age, trying to get scouts out ASAP, trying to get ahead in numbers, puts them in a very cutthroat situation. So I understand them being, you know, reluctant to any additional unnecessary expense, such as going for larger walls if they can get away with the smaller ones. So ACCM's military is looking stronger over here. He's got more scouts, but the spearmen from Villese will still make it very difficult for ACCM to really achieve much of anything. Here we go. Nice. ACCM fails. Beautiful snipe over there. Villese gets the first villager pick in the game, despite ACCM's spear presence over there. And ACCM's bringing some spear forward, and he'll try to target the units over here. We'll take a look. There we go. The spearmen are coming up right now from Villese and from ACCM, and ACCM was trying to go after the villagers, but he cannot really do it as Villese recognizes the situation and goes for the quick walls immediately. That was an incredibly quick reaction from Villese, and one that spares these villagers' lives. Bloodlines on the way now for Villese as well. Now this will put him in a much better spot. Because France gets 20% extra HP on cavalry units in the fuel age onwards, they do not get access to bloodlines. Because they do not get access to bloodlines, any civilization that gets access to bloodlines in the fuel age, right? Or, well, of course, any civilization that gets access to bloodlines at all is going to have stronger scouts than Villese. Nice, a villager pick over here, so ACCM finally gets something to show for his military pressure. But it's just a one villager going down from Villese, and ACCM end up losing the majority of his scouts. He's gone down to only 2 scouts over here. He's just trying to save the resources, by the looks of it, to go up to the Castle H and Villese. Well, Villese is getting kind of close himself as well. He's got 3 scouts left. He's gonna go and try and fish for weak villagers. He cannot do it as long as ACCM keeps on chasing him away with spearmen. Yeah, but notice that Villese is just like a vulture, circling around these villagers, just waiting for the spearmen to look away for a moment and then bang. Okay, so it's on the way for Villese and for ACCM as well. And interestingly enough, Villese actually manages to click up to the castle age faster than ACCM. Despite the fact that the red player had a little bit of a stronger economy, it seemed like he was closer to go up. And my lord, how is that villager ever going down from ACCM? Where's the spearman? It was completely out of position. That is why Villese was extremely patient with the units over here, and instead of trying to engage against the weaker villagers earlier, he just kept on roaming around, and now the spearman's out of position again from ACCM. He's got another one over there. He's got another one over here. It's been difficult for him to keep up with all of this, and we'll see another villager go down. This time around, one scout does pay the price, but it'll still be a worthy trade for Villese, who has been able to get a bunch of villagers down, and so far has only lost one scout from this army of 3 that he's been roaming around with for a while. Castle Age here now for Villese, and ACCM gets to the Castle Age himself too. Knights on the way for Villese. We should have Knights on the way for ACCM. We are expecting this to be the case. He's playing Franks. He's got to go for Knights. And the pikeman upgrades coming in for Villese, sending a lot of the spearmen forward. He's not under pressure anymore. This could be ACCM's chance of counter-attacking, because all the spearmen are forward from Villese at this point. Unless Villese is getting extra units out. Back home. He's not! So if he just comes in with pikemen, with knights rather, ACCM might be able to get some damage done over there. However, because Villese is also producing knights himself, he should be able to defend with knights against knights. But if ACCM tries to just target villagers and focus on taking the villagers down, he should be able to... Yeah, he should be able to take, at the very least, a few villagers before a knight is able to clean up his own knights. His defense with a monk from ACCM too. Beautiful. There we go. ACCM is going for what I was suggesting earlier. So far, he's been unable to find any damage. There are some exposed villagers still around Vilese's economy, and there we go. Now we will see ACCM try to target some of those. Good reaction from Villese though. Still, these villagers were exposed. These villagers were exposed. ACCM unfortunately has not really found the exposed areas around Vilese's base, and Villese on the other hand is trying to fish for exposed economy from ACCM as well. The red player, by the way, has managed to chop enough wood over here to land a nice TC, so he's on 3 TCs. Meanwhile, on the other hand... Oh, and it's open! It's open towards the south! And yeah, on the other hand, Villese is just on 2 TCs, right? So, this could be really good. ACCM's getting 2 villagers down. Cannot make that 3. But now he's getting ahead in villager count, and there we go. He's trying to target more, so he gets another one. He gets another one. And he could get another one over there as well. Meanwhile, up in the north, we see the spearmen and the knights from Villese still put pressure against ACCM. And ACCM did manage to get some conversions over here, but ultimately he ended up losing the monks. Down the south. Yeah, we see one of the knights got converted by Villese, I believe. Yes. And in the end, the push from ACCM is no more, but it might not matter because he's already managed to get a worker lead with it. He's got 3 TCs. if he keeps producing from all three, he should be in a much better position fairly soon. He should start pulling ahead in worker count a little bit. After Bloodlines, the fight of knights plus spikes will go in favor of Japanese. So much for the ultimate heavy cavalry civilization. Well, with knights, it's going to be the same HP for... I mean, yes, for the knights, and then the pikemen will attack faster for Japanese, so that's technically true. However, there are a few things from ACCM civilization that will come in quite handy, such as the free farm upgrades, making his food workers more efficient than Vilese's, and potentially allowing him to go for more units in the end. But yeah, the Franks are going to certainly get the strongest they can get in the Imperial stage, where they can go for Cavalier and Paladin, and they do get more HP than Bloodline Cavalier or Paladin. And Villese instead is going to have an advantage when it comes to infantry, being the fantastic infantry civilization they are, so it's to be expected, I guess. And so Villese has been putting quite as much pressure as well. He's trying to prevent ACCM from getting to where he wants to get with Franks. Should be going to pair of Villese over here. That is not good for ACCM. I'm not really sure why he decided to take the engagement over there. Now he's bailing. He's already taken a lot of losses over there. He's going back. Nice snipe over here though. Takes one of the knights down. Fantastic. Town center on the way. Now Villese is finally gonna catch up. That's the 4th TC. We have 4 TCs for ACCM as well. And it seems like the red player is able to keep up with villager production for the most part. It's got all 4 TCs queued up. He's not really gotten the villager lead that I was expecting him to get at this point already, though. Doesn't seem the best. There we go. Some conversions coming out from Villese. He's targeting 4 different knights, 5 different knights. And ACCM gets lucky over here. He actually ends up walking away with only a single knight converted. He probably would have lost all 5. Villese was a little bit luckier with the conversions because the knights over there were being targeted and were being converted by the monks for quite a while. There's a castle on the way for ACCM. Villese already has one up. Woodworkers. Higher count for ACCM. He's got better upgrades right now, so he should have a much stronger economy compared to Villese and would allow him to go for either more knights or to save enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age earlier as well. So Villese is kind of starting to struggle over here a little bit. He's unable to keep on putting pressure anymore. Pikemen are certainly not going to do much of anything around the castle, and then ACCM. Well, ACCM is going forward. He gets close to the monks. Villese pulls those away. Hey, Bailo. Hi, hi. And there we are. We might see a few extra villagers go down over here from Villese. I think ACCM would have been able to get another villager over there, but too much to pay attention to right now. Villese used the market quite heavily and is able to go up to the Imperial Age earlier than ACCM. I thought it might have been the other way around actually, but ACCM does have at the very least a much larger amount of knights to show for his stronger economy. And nice quick walls over there from Villese. Might result in a few conversions over there. Yes, sir. ACCM still walks away, mind you. Still ahead in worker count. Still ahead in military count. And this could still be a massacre. We see the knights trying to target the villagers. Not fast enough, though. Vilese's pikemen can't catch up. But now we see another set of exposed villages over there. All of these are going down from Villese. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villagers dead. Already from the blue player. Absolutely fantastic. Villese is trying to defend right now, but with throwing axemen. With the throwing axemen, well, ACCM is able to take care of these pikemen without too many issues. Now he's got some momentum over here, might be able to target these villagers next, and he's going after these. He doesn't really have too many units left over here anymore. He was a little bit too reckless with this army. He just tried to power through, and he ended up getting converted. He ended up getting killed. Well, he was looking stronger over there for a little bit. Villese was able to stabilize. So it doesn't seem as if ACCM should have been able to get a lot more damage down over there. I think he was probably not getting the best trades that he could have. At the very least, he is on his way to the Imperial Age now as well. And Villese instead. Villese gets to the Imperial Age already and goes for Balkan Arrow, a Trebuchet, Ballistics, and Handguard. Well, ACCM is going for Bearded Axe. It's going to give the Throwing Axeman extra range. There we go. Scale mail armor is here, so ACCM was also lacking upgrades severely on his units. I'm going forward. Bracers here for Villese as well. He's gonna make a play for Arbalesters and Halberdier by the looks of it. You were talking about the possibility of Cavalry Archers plus Halberdier. We are going to get the Arbalesters and Halberdier instead. Could still be quite alright. It's not going to be quite as strong, of course. But might be enough to suppress ACCM, as Villese is looking much stronger in military count right now. He can't afford to get the push going. While ACCM instead, he's got chainmail armor only now coming up. Iron casting coming out right now as well. And he's already under a lot of pressure over here. He's got his own trebuchets on the way, but it's taking some time as he's only recently got into the Imperial Age. Let's get a few villagers down with some 4 knights, but that's going to be the last of his push. He's not really going for knights anymore. What is this though from ACCM? He's got the light cavalry coming up, elite throwing axemen, so it's going to be light cavalry and elite throwing axemen for the Frank player, and no cavalry at all. He's got a significant amount of halberdier, and I mean no nightline units for ACCM at all. But yeah, Villese got a lot of halberdiers, so he should be able to hold on. And, you know, like cavalry are obviously not going to do any better than Cavalier or Paladin against halberdier from Japanese, so I'm not really sure what the ACCM's plan is over here. Throwing Axemen will get taken down by Arbalesters once Villese gets the upgrades. As the blue player keeps on playing towards it, we see Thumbring coming in, and the Arbalester upgrade should be coming up in a moment as well. Here we go. Nice pick over here. Villese is getting a trebuchet down. He's just halberdier in exchange, so that's a trade that he'll want to take any day. The castle's still going down though, just in the last moment, as another trebuchet went down over there from ACCM, and another one goes down over here. Villese's castle still crumbles, but he goes for another one right where the first one dropped. And then on the left-hand side, Villese's got his own push going, and this is much harder for his CM to stop because he doesn't have the units to counter this. And once again, he's just... Okay, so he's going for Cavalier now, but this is so late. There's something I was expecting him to make a play for as soon as he got to the Imperial Age. And now, well, Villese's got Arbalesters. He's got a meat shield of Halberdier. And... yeah, the Therian Axemen over here are not going to be anywhere near strong enough to take on Villese's army, as Villese's Arbalesters obviously completely outrange the Therian Axemen. As long as Villese is paying attention to his units, he should be able to get much better trades against the red player. So, Arbalesters and Halberdiers seem to be working just fine from Villese as well. He's got a 200 population, and his CM still struggling on 160 population himself. Ah, looking good. Even without meat shield over here, Villese is doing pretty alright. Taking all the Therian Axemen down, and it's not even close! Well done. 143 population for ACCM. This is such a struggle for the red player, and really makes me wonder if this is going to change or impact the meta on this map for future matchups. So we are going to see Japanese a lot more often over here. Well, if you're expecting your opponent to go for Franks and they have the draft that suggests they might go for Franks in this map, and you have Japanese, certainly seems like it's a very viable choice. Cavalier's coming up again for ACCM. Seems like he lost the stable that he was researching it with originally. And Villese's scout right now will... Cataparuto coming up. Beautiful. There we go. Finishes researching it. Trebuchet's pack and unpack extremely quickly. There we go. Barkhand is going down over here from ACCM as well. Well, yeah, the red player is just falling apart at the seams, while Villese instead, he queues a few extra units and he's gonna be basically locked at 200 population. ACCM doesn't really have even enough housing to go for any more than 165 population at this point in time, and even if he did, it doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to do it because of his economy. He is saving resources though. I'm kind of wondering if he's trying to save enough to go for Paladin, although he doesn't really have any Cavalier right now, and given the amount of Halberdier Villese's got, plus the fact that he's playing with Japanese, it doesn't seem to me that ACCM would want to go for Paladin. Anyway. Man, this is beautiful from Villese. He spots some stranded villagers from ACCM, as the red player was certainly trying to search for some extra resources. These villagers are going down. What is it that ACCM needed? Gold. This is the only gold that he's got. Yeah, and he's getting pushed away from it. Well, it's looking pretty much game over. Villese will end up getting a bunch of villagers down over here. He's taking villagers around the TCs from ACCM, and ACCM doesn't really have a counter push going. So he's just taking a lot of damage over here, and he's not really doing anything against Villese that's going to allow him to keep on going. So game number 2 is going in favor of Villese. ACCM is going to have to clutch it up over here. The only way back. This series for the red player is going to be a reverse sweep, while Villese, he's looking extremely strong. Just finished researching Yasama as well. It's got arrow slits coming up, so we're going to see some towers coming in a moment. Yeah, ACCM is not calling it just yet, but going under 100 population should be quite telling for the red player basically at this point. he knows he must be behind by quite a lot. And then there's the score lead as well, which is quite substantial for Villese. Here we are. Beautiful. Vilese's position is absolutely fantastic. So, what to expect for the next one? And I'm not 100% sure why ACCM is not calling it yet. He's got another castle coming up on the right hand side with 3 villagers, but like realistically, there is no way back for him this game. He simply does not have the economy anymore. He's got 70 villagers, and Villese can't go for anything he wants, and ACCM won't be able to fight against that. So it's going to be 2-0 as ACCM finally calls a GG. He might have just been trying to decompress. He might have just been trying to hold on over there. But yeah, let's take a look at the achievements. For military then, we have a stronger KD for Villese by quite a lot. It's going to be better than 4-3. And then for economy, we have a stronger economy for Villese. Society. Villese did not manage to get quite as many villagers, or at the very least for the villager max count as ACCM, but he did end up taking the fewer losses, as ACCM ended up losing 126 villagers. Villese, on the other hand, ended up losing about 23 only. So 100 fewer losses and more. Well done. And there we go. Game number 3 is here. Match point already. Villese 2. ACCM nil. Game number 3 is gonna take place on Scandinavia for Civilizations. ACCM is playing with Byzantines up in the north. Kind of in the middle of the map over here, at the very least, in between both rivers. While Villese's got, wow, SCC start right next to the river. And he's playing Malay as well, so he can take advantage of water over here pretty nicely. That's very interesting TC generation over here. It's going to take so much longer for ACCM to send any villagers over to the river. Hey Amisha, hi. At the very least, from what I can see, there are no predators over here, so there is no chance of ACCM getting picked up by a wolf. However, obviously there could be a chance of him traveling a longer distance and getting spotted by a scout from Villese. For the time being, ACCM is going to be the first player, but it looks of it to go for a dock. Yes.
Salve.
So despite the fact Villese is spawning significantly closer to the water, ACCM sending the villager in a little bit earlier. Yeah. And they are very close though, to be fair, so there is that, I guess. And while Scandinavia is still going to allow the players to potentially wall themselves up without too many issues, this is not the exact same Scandinavia that we see in, you know, the classic Scandinavia, which if I'm not mistaken also has some cliffs, doesn't it? So yeah, this is not quite as straightforward to wall, or at the very least not going to have quite as many choke points. But still. I hope Villese loses, then we get the arena and Villese has Turks. In before that backfires pretty badly. So let's take a look at the map generation. Villese, he is very close to water. We already established this. And for the bull player, that's going to signify a very close distance over here between the TC and the water, of course, which means that if he gets pushed away from here, could potentially go elsewhere and try to get extra docks up without really taking villagers away from work too much. So let's say that he needs to go for an extra dock over here, and for whatever reason, like let's say that he already runs out of fish over here and he brings the villager back to the TC, it shouldn't be too difficult for him to send villagers over to the shoreline to collect, or actually to get an additional dock up. Besides that, we have one gigantic goal on the left-hand side for Villese. He's got a goal on the right-hand side as well. He's already going for the walls in front. And it seems like it's going to be completely closed up. I think this is actually closed up over there as well. So the only thing that he's kind of missing right now is stone. Like, there is some stone on the right-hand side, but it's so far away. He would have to go for walls like this in order to secure that. And I don't know how likely that is. It seems very unlikely to me. We take a look at the map generation for ACCM on the other hand. Yeah, well, the red player is significantly farther away from water, but he will have a stone that's closer to his TC. And the goal is about the same distance, the main one, as the main wall is, the main one for Villese is from Villese's TC, but unlike Villese, we do have a back goal over here for ACCM, so that's good. We could potentially see some walls from here to here, here towards the TC as well, and then from here to here and here towards the TC, and he would be fine. But for the time being, he's not really going for any of that, so pretty curious about it. Village is on the way for both these guys at about the same time. We have a 3-second head start for Villese. He obviously clicked up a little bit later, but the Malay do research the next stage significantly quicker. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to use any of the original map scripts from AOC because they had plenty of issues. But there are a few things over here that changed for sure. If I'm not mistaken, I think the original Scandinavia had cliffs. And yeah, of course we don't have the walls over here, which is something that players do not really like. Obviously, it's kind of unfortunate if you send a villager out into the open, just try and get a dock up 3,000 miles away from your TC. You start getting there, and then all of a sudden 2 wolves attack you and kill your villager, right? Sets you back so much. Oh, what is going on over here, though? Villese got kind of lucky over there that the ACCM didn't really have villagers to garrison inside the TC, but the only reason why he's so low HP is because he was able to get the ACCM scout himself. So let's take a look. Villese is going for galleys and ACCM is going for fire galleys. This makes sense because Villese going for fire galleys will be playing into ACCM's game with Byzantines. The red player gets 25% faster attacking fire line units. So by going for standard galleys over here, Villese has got a much better chance of being able to fight the Byzantines off. There we go. We have a good amount of standard galleys over here for Villese. If he plays his cards right, he should be able to clean this up, and he's going to. He needs a few more. He's got a 5th one on the way. Yes, sir. For the time being, he's kind of bailing. He's got a room around here. Circle back towards his TC, or towards his dock, sorry. So that he can take advantage of the extra units coming out very soon. That's going to be 1 galley going down already for Villese. He's got 4 total. If he can get 2 more, he'll be in a position to take care of these fire galleys without any issues. And that is not good though. Villese doesn't see 1 villager, 2 villagers down. And his villager lead from going up faster is gone already. But he does manage to get 5 standard galleys out, so he should be able to take care of these fire galleys. And all of a sudden, well, things were looking good for ACCM just a few moments ago by taking the villagers down and pushing the galleys away. Villese manages to hold on over here long enough for his extra galleys to come out, and now he's gonna be the one pushing ACCM away. So the red player most likely will end up losing the fire galleys over there and the fishing ships, thus giving Villese a worker lead once again in the game. The red player did go for a dock on the right hand side, so he could potentially try and take advantage of this river, which is completely uncontested by the blue player. But of course, he's going to keep on trying to hold on to the left-hand side, because if he gets pushed away from here, that's going to be a lot of wasted resources, with the fishing ships going down pretty quickly to the galleys from Villese. Going for extra docks, though, does come at a cost. Villese, for instance, despite having a lower worker count compared to ACCM at times, will be the first player to click up to the castle age by the looks of it. Yeah, nowhere to saving the resources. Is looking great. ACCM on the other hand, not really quite as many resources. So Villese will be the first player to the War Galley upgrade. The great thing about that for the blue player as well is that if he goes for a dock on the right hand side, and he goes for not even too many units, with the War Galley upgrade already, he'll be able to completely get control of both rivers. Let's take a look at the demo raft over there, and pow! Big shot. Beautiful. Yeah, and now ACCM is basically getting pushed out of water. Now this might be a juicy shot. ACCM is coming over. Villese is not paying attention. Oh, that was not as good as it could have been because he realized. So he started moving the fission ships, but ACCM did not target the unit he wanted to target over there. Ah, that was so... Come on, that could have been so good. Anyway, Castle H will be here for Villese very soon. Meanwhile, ACCM, we were talking about the possibility for him to go for walls around the DC, but he's gone for walls from river to river. So he's got a pretty good chunk of the map kind of secured himself. However, by losing water control, his economy is going to be significantly smaller compared to Villese's, and once Villese's extra economy starts kicking in and he's able to transition into land production, ACCM is going to find himself in a world of pain. That should be the case anyway. Second and third TCs on the way already for Villese, and no docks whatsoever on the right hand side, so ACCM is getting away with this. Alright. Yeah, but this economy is gonna be in a different level. It's gonna be on a whole another level. And the ACCM, yeah, not really looking the best right now. Hey, Hardcore Massive. Hi, welcome. How's it going? By the way, guys, do you like this new format that MIMP is using for the tournament? Having 4 days per week with 2 series each, as opposed to just Saturday and Sunday with 4 series each, lasting about 8 to 10 hours. It's much more sustainable for streamers, I'll tell you that much. Not having to stream 10 hours for 4 series in a row. Like for instance this one, right? We are only in game number 3 and we are getting close to 2 hours. Still remember Nikov series. Not that long ago. Lasting about 3 hours and a half or so. Okay, wow. Wait. Yeah, ACCM calls a GG over here. Is it? Did he drop? He was behind the score. I don't see the GG coming up over here. His population was not bad at all. He had gotten to the castle, so it's a fairly awkward time for him to call it. I'm really sure if he dropped, actually. I think it's great for qualifiers or these initial phases. 8+ hours in the same day is just too much. Yeah. I would agree. I like it. It takes more time. For sure, it's 4 days in the week, so it's not quite as easy for other tournament hosts to host different tournaments in parallel. But yeah, for this tournament specifically, it's really good. I think this is game over. I'm just going to ask, just in case. Yeah, it seems that the game is over, and Seems like Villese is the one moving on then, guys. With a final score of 3-0. He's going to be the one moving on to the winners matchup. Wait. What am I talking about over here? Hold on. What? So it's a drop. It's not game over. Scandinavia. Hopefully they're able to restore. Never mind. Never mind. Well, that's much better because that would have been an anticlimactic ending for sure. It didn't really seem to make much sense from ACCM to call it right there. Tactical drop. Let's queue for this one. There we go. 2 minutes left of spec delay before we're able to jump into the restored game. All right. Let's take a look at how much spec delay there is. Yeah, only about a minute or so. So 4 days, about 5 hours each, versus potentially close to 10 hours, 2 days each. It's a lot more sustainable for streamers as well. I remember those days like from Hayden Cup and basically any tournament that would use a previous format would be so hard to recover from one day to the next because you cast for so long. And then the next day, you're kind of rip. And then the next day, after the second day or the third day, we have like more than 2 days, 8 hours each, 10 hours each. That's the really rough one. You have almost no time to recover at all. All right, there we go. Game is coming up. And we are in game, yes, in game number 3 again. It was a drop. So they are restoring over here. ACCM's getting to the castle age. This restore file is from ACCM, so it seems like he disconnected and he got the restore from a few seconds before the time that we saw the game end at before. So he most likely would have gotten a few seconds of idle. Of no actions, right, per minute before. Anyway, see the War Galley coming up over here for ACCM, and the Villese should still be able to get a better trade over here. He's gotten to the castle age earlier, but he's not really going for the War Galley upgrade at all, and given the amount of units he's got, he might not need to do so as well, because he's taking the fire galleys down over here, and ACCM just gonna try to go for one last push. 5, 4, 3. There we go. The War Galley upgrades here. He's got only one fire ship left over there. He's got a demolition ship, and that is a big bang. The fire ships are coming out over here, and Villese is going to bail. He's got demolition rafts coming up himself, and he's still refusing to go. At the very least, is prioritizing units over the upgrades, so no War Galley coming up just yet. And you know, if he plays his cards right, he might be able to just get full water control over here. Anyway, he's got still significantly more units compared to ACCM. There we go. Red player did go for a second TC as well, so that's good. Villese, on the other hand, he is already on 3 TCs. He's been on 3 TCs for a while, and he's gonna start putting some pressure on land as well. He's got a siege workshop, and he starts to mango the houses down, making a breach over here, going for an outpost, making sure that he does not waste the manas over there by just getting too greedy. And ACCM ended up getting cleaned up for the most part on the left-hand side. So Villese is still looking much stronger in that regard. He's got a demolition raft over there. He still has a good amount of galleys and fire galleys. And ACCM keeps on going for more units. He's got fire ships and demolition ships on the way as well. So we'll see. For the time being, we are just going to leave it selected so that we can hop over there when he out garrisons. This has got a castle on the way on top of the hill in between both bases. Looking good. Just trying to fish for ACCMs. Oh! Let's see. Alright, this could be good. This could be good. Oh, that was a good shot, but it always feels like it could have been a little bit better still. Like, you could have gotten the villager and a lot of extra damage done over there, but he's cautious. He's got another fire galley or fire ship on the way, and Villese, he gets the castle up. He still keeps bold manas up over here, I believe. These are the same from before. They might not be, but still have 2v1. And Villese gets another outpost up. He loses a villager. And ACCM's got another mangonel out over here, or at the very least garrison inside the siege workshop, and it seems like Villese is kind of giving up on water. He's got more fire galleys coming up, but does he really want to go for more fire galleys when he doesn't have the war galley upgrade yet? And he's just been trading fairly evenly against ACCM. Actually, yeah, I think that might be the case. This is still looking pretty good for Villese though. He's got Karambe warriors now, monks. Here we are. Archer reach goes down. And so far, Villese has gotten away with the most damage this game by far. ACCM seems like he'll be able to go up to the Imperial Age pretty quickly, but because of Villese's civilization bonus of researching the next stage much faster than other civilizations, he will be able to get to the Imperial Age earlier than ACCM, even if the red player is the first one to click up. So we see ACCM on his way to the Imperial Age any second now. He's got the resources and buildings. So there we go, Imperial Age is on the way. And Villese is probably a minute or so away from the Imperial Age himself, but actually, not even that, just a few seconds. Yeah, his economy is already super strong, so he does manage to rake in enough resources to go up. So he's got the Imperial Age on the way himself any second now, but he will be up significantly sooner compared to ACCM. How much sooner, as a matter of fact? Well, you take a look at this. It's researching so much faster. It's only a minute and 40 seconds, 35, minute and 30 seconds versus 2 minutes and 5, so it's going to be a full minute and 35 seconds of a lead to the Imperial Age for Villese versus ACCM, who clicked up earlier, just because of the incredible melee bonus. And in the end, it seems like ACCM will end up cleaning up the left-hand side by the looks of it, because he's going for extra fire ships. So he will take the fire galley down over here. He will take the fishing ships down as well. He's going after the fishing ships right away, actually, just ignoring the fire galley. So Villese gets to reset the HP. Yeah, there we go. Doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter too much, because Villese is so far ahead in worker count that even if he loses all the fishing ships he's got right now, He's left in a very good position. He's got right now about 16 extra workers. So he loses all 3 efficient shifts and still ahead by 16 workers. 17 workers even right now. 18 workers rather. Village here and Trebuchet is on the way for Villese. Well, ACCM still has to wait about 10 more seconds to get to the Imperial Age. Red player is only now getting a castle left, so he's gonna have to wait for the castle to come up before he's even able to queue a Trebuchet up in Villese. By the time ACCM finishes building the castle over here, Vilese's first Trebuchet is already going to have one wheel out. And there you go. First Trebuchet comes out, and Villese, he's going for the second Trebuchet right away. So by the time ACCM gets the first Treb out, Villese is going to be almost with 2 Trebs already, and there is a second castle on the way for Villese, which will allow him to significantly outproduce ACCM as well. So the one thing that works in favor of ACCM is the extra HP the buildings get for Byzantines, 40% extra HP already in the Imperial Age, but doesn't seem like it's going to be anywhere near enough. The castle's dropping for sure from ACCM very soon, and Vilese's raid over here is not really achieving too much. These Karambit warriors are pretty weak. He's gotta wait until he gets a few more. Yeah, but there we go. The second Trebuchet is already out for Villese. The second Trebuchet is only on the way for ACCM. We have the third Trebuchet actually on the way since earlier, I think, for Villese, right? Yeah. So he's gonna have 3 Trebuchets already out, while ACCM's got just a second Trebuchet coming out. Now this is good. Oh, the Magno almost takes the trip down. We still have all 3 up over here from Villese, but he did take a lot of damage from the Magno. And he's gotta be very careful right now because, well, ACCM's fishing for damage. He manages to land a good shot over there. Villese doesn't seem to be targeting the Magno for whatever reason. He could have. He didn't. Now he's going for it himself. Nice Magno shot from ACCM. And Vilese's got the lead Karambit warrior coming up. Fantastic. Trebuchet battle should be going in favor of Villese, who's got the Bombard Cannon right now. Meanwhile, ACCM, he does have a Bombard Cannon coming out, but it's only here now. And there's a good shot though, 1 for 1. But the Trebuchets from ACCM still taking a lot of heat over here. These will go down very soon. There we go, we see 1 going down already. Meanwhile, Villese still has all 3 Trebs. He's got the Bombard Cannons over here. He's going after everything. Trebuchets are going down. There we go. Second Trebuchet down already. And that is a good Bombard Cannon shot over here from Villese, so he's able to keep all the Trebuchets up. Right? Oh, only 1 Trebuchet left for Villese. Interesting. Could manage to repair these on time. He still has significantly more siege power because of the Bombard Cannons. He's gonna keep on putting pressure. And here come the Karambit warriors. That's gonna be a great meat shield. Allowing Villese to push a little bit further with these Bombard Cannons. He's taking the Trebuchets down with it. Trebuchets go down to the Karambits and the Bombard Cannons. Now Villese is gonna be the only player left with Trebs. With 1 Treb anyway. Plus 3 Bombard Cannons. So this castle from ACCM is about to start taking a lot of heat. Vilese's meat shield over here is still respectable. He's got more and more Karambit warriors coming in by the minute, and of course these do produce extremely quickly. So while they do go down significantly quickly over here as well, he does manage to replenish those without getting pushed back too much in the process. Yeah, there you are. He's going for the second wave of units over here. This time around, ACCM does not have anywhere near as many crossbows to defend himself with, so these Karambits will get a little bit further in, and that's going to give Villese extra time to get some extra damage done on the castle over here. And that's gonna be the GG coming up from ACCM. Villese goes on to take the series with a clean sweep over here. Final score of 3-0. Blue player looks absolutely fantastic. Beast mode from Villese, for sure. Let's go and take a look at the achievements before jumping into game number 1 of the next series. So we don't really have too much information over here because the players had just gotten into the castle age by the time they restored, but because they hadn't really fought too much before that, I would say the KD over here is pretty accurate for the entire game. About 5 to 4 KD ratio. We take a look at economy on the other hand. We see a stronger economy for Villese as well. Doesn't that get in a much stronger economy with about 5,000, close to 5,000 extra resources. Higher work count towards the end of the game as well, APM. Looking significantly higher for Villese too. He's done a really good job this game and moves on to the winner's match. While ACCM, well, gets knocked down to the loser's match. But it's not over yet for ACCM. It's just gonna have to get through one extra hurdle, one extra bump on the road.